Adversity? Bring it. The struggle? We welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. We are Dave Regina and Mike Pirelli, and this is the No Snooze Podcast. Come on. Welcome back, No Snooze Podcast. I am here in the booth by myself for what we do is a little summer series, some short form content, and I am bringing you the mind piece, and Michael, the show, Pirelli, will be doing a money piece for you. This week, I want to talk about mental toughness, and I want to start out with a quote from Thomas Edison. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Mental toughness is paramount in achieving any goal, any high level of success, and overcoming some of life's biggest hurdles. Some things that I think about, whether we're talking about a promotion at work, a challenging relationship, a struggling business, battling a disease, loss of a loved one, raising children, some sort of suffering will always be attached to those. This is exactly why the things that we love and work hard for are eventually rewarding. Today, I want to break down some of the key traits to being mentally tough and building resilience. I want to hopefully inspire you to make more deposits into your mental bank account than withdrawals. You like that, CV? The mental bank account. Believe it or not, the answer is simple, but like anything worth fighting for, the application is extremely difficult. Resilience is like a muscle. And with focus and determination, you can strengthen your mind to overcome any obstacle in your life, dominate your goals, and live a much better life than you have been. So today I want to talk to you about 5 habits that make people not good, but mentally great. Number 1, they love a good challenge. Mentally tough people view obstacles as a challenge and not a paralyzing event. They look at failures and mistakes as lessons to be learned and opportunities for growth. For me, I immediately think about the job that I've been in for a little bit over a year now. I embraced that I had a lot of people against me. I embraced that I had been looked over by the same people that were hiring me. It took me a very long time to actually receive that promotion at work, but I knew ultimately that I was the number one choice. I viewed it as a challenge, and I took all of my previous experiences to make sure that I eventually got that gig. Number 2, they practice true commitment. True commitment, not fugazi commitment. Resilient people are committed to their lives and their goals. If it doesn't align with what they're striving for, they have the ability to say no. They are not easily distracted by opportunities that are unrelated to the outcome that they eventually want. I think about the financial goal that I had achieved before investing in real estate, right? To some, it looked like I was going out all the time, traveling to, Miami 3 times a month. I had a very good time. But what people didn't know behind the scenes was that I had a true commitment to the dollar amount that I was saving every single month. Number 3, they focus on what is in their control. The strongest individuals have the ability to spend their time and energy focusing on situations and events that they have their control over. And because they put their efforts where they can have the most impact, they feel empowered and ultimately confident. I think about my great late friend's mother, Joy DeMello. Although the cancer was terminal for her and the family made a commitment to live out their final months with 0 regrets. They would see how Joy was feeling on a day-to-day basis, and they would do the things that she can do and not focus on the things that she couldn't do. Every Sunday, they would cook as a family because Joy loved that. And every single day, Joy would sit down and make a blog just so her family had something to look back on. They spent her final days on wonderful vacations. They ate the food that they loved. And at the end of the day, when she did pass away, they can look back and they said that they focused on the things that they can control versus sitting there and walloping over a terminal diagnosis. Number 4, They thrive on adversity. We talk about this a lot on the podcast, but the people that can not only navigate adversity, but thrive during these times are different human beings. They know how to transform uncertainty and pain into useful energy. Not just regular energy, we're talking about useful energy. I think of my program team in my business. When the pandemic began, we had daily conference calls as it progressed. Conversations about people being laid off were happening very often. But instead, they gathered themselves. They didn't focus on what could potentially be. They saw the adversity. They brainstormed, and we were able to secure $500,000 in funding for a safe educational place where students of essential workers could bring their children while the schools were closed. Our senior service unit, that team rallied up over 100 volunteers from the community. We gathered in ShopRite. We brought in Trader Joe's. And we were able to deliver over 7,500 meals to seniors who didn't want to leave their homes. We took an opportunity, and we thrived when we saw the adversity. Number 5, they embrace change. Mentally tough people, especially in leadership roles, are flexible and constantly adapting. They know that the fear of change is debilitating and a major threat to their success and fulfillment. These types of people, they assume change is coming, and they constantly plan for contingencies. He's not going to like this, but I think about my brother, Michael "The Show" Pirelli. From the moment he walked out of his sales job to then taking on a real estate role, his life has constantly changed. Instead of buckling at the knees, he's found ways to shift his business, build successful brands, and welcome in 2 beautiful baby girls through chaos. So it's very important that you take change and embrace it versus sitting there and allowing the change to embrace you. So I know I promised you 5 habits, but for you, this is your bonus number 6. And we always talk about this one as well on the podcast. They engage in physical and mental wellness, right? There's not one successful person that I know, especially that's mentally tough, that has not adopted a routine in a physical aspect. For this one, I think about my brother CV. You have complete control of your physical health in terms of your preparation for life, right? Claudio has lost over 60 pounds. Yes, it took him, a while to get started on it, and he was in denial for a little bit. But as soon as he made that shift, he was able to not only lose 60 pounds, but he was able to be more confident, more available to the people around him, not only at work, but also at home. There's an extreme attachment and a connection between physical and mental wellness and being mentally tough. You have to tie it all in. All right, so instead, I lied to you, and I said that there was 5, but there's actually 6. And to quickly recap, the first one is mentally tough people love a good challenge. Number 2, they practice true commitment. Number 3, they focus on what is in their control. Number 4, they thrive on adversity. Number 5, they embrace change. And I don't have another finger, but number 6, they engage in physical and mental wellness. If you found value in what we've done for you today, all we ask is that you share the show. Without you guys, we have nothing. We hope to continue to encourage and inspire you on your own journey. As always, stop snoozing, get up, and get after it.
That's another Effie in the books. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at No Snooze Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze.